What is going on, shrimp keepers? This is Rob with flipaquatics.com, and today we are focusing on something a little different. We're actually going to be talking about the Nano fish room. This is a room that we actually had to break down recently and set back up, so we have 2 full rooms of this. So let's jump right into it. So let's first start off in the new room. Now, first thing, this room is one that we've had tons of water damage with. There was a lot of water coming underneath the walls. It was coming out around the receptacles and stuff like that. It was just a disaster. So what we did is we tore all the walls out, took all the tanks out of this room, and we actually sprayed the wall. Well, we fixed the wall first, fixed all the holes, sealed it really good, and then we sprayed it with this foam insulation so it's nice and insulated. It's waterproof, like it's ready to go. And then you actually have to paint it with a sealant to prevent it from, being, I think the right word is combustible. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. But anyways, it's basically so it doesn't catch on fire. Like, it isn't flammable. This stuff is flame retardant, which again, I have no idea if I'm saying this stuff right. Don't judge me. But this is what the new room looks like. It's got, I think, about 100 tanks in it. And it's really coming along. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's looking really, really good. It's just awesome. We got all these new manifolds in here. This is a brand new water change system. Actually, we might have had this with the old Caradina room, but it's working really well for this room too. So let's jump into the video. So let's do a little overview of these 2 rooms. So first of all, this is the room that we redid. This is our new and miscellaneous row, so we keep a lot of guppies and miscellaneous fish in this row. And as we go on, each row kind of has its own focus. And so this row, as you can see, like we labeled all up here. It's called the bottom feeder row. And so this is where we keep like our Corydoras, our catfish, our Otocinclus, basically anything that's a bottom dweller. And so like plecos and things like that. And then you move over. Now this row is the rasboras. Now granted, we do have some overlapping. Like, I don't think these guys, yeah, we got some Corydoras up here. But anyway, it's just because we ran out of space. And so that's kind of how we lay out this room. Now moving in to a different room, this room's a little bit cooler. And so we have another new and miscellaneous row. And so basically, if there's fish that prefer cooler water, we'll put them in here. Like, we got some new guys that aren't even on the website, which we'll get to. But like, the clown loaches, some of the albino Bichirs. I don't know how to say the name. But anyway, that's how it is. Don't judge me. So anyway, that's new and miscellaneous. So there's a lot of new stuff coming to the website. And then we got snail row, which is all different types of snails. And then moving over, our last row is going to be the Tetra row. And so we'll go through each one of these rows individually and talk about some of the fish that are kept in them and some of the things that we do in each row, and kind of explain a little bit more around like the board in front of us and different things that we do to be successful with keeping Nano fish here at Flip Aquatics. Now we have to stop and talk about what we feed our fish. Now we do feed our fish a mixture of North Fin foods. We grind it down into a mixture and use that. But this is our pride and joy right here. This is one of our best foods. This is live baby brine. So we have this huge thing. We make, I think it's 5 liters at a time. Let's see, no, 4 liters at a time. And so this makes just a ton of brine, and then it just flows down into our sink. And so this has been a really good system. This is enough to feed both rooms. On top of that, we do feed some other stuff. Let me go over here and see. This is another big food for us, green beans. We feed this to all of our snails and bottom feeders. We feed it to some of the like tetras and things like that from time to time. Biggest thing is get ones that are no salt added. That's the biggest thing. And if you can get them French style where they're already cut, that's even better, because we like to break these up when we're feeding them. But this is just great stuff. So this is actually another thing that we feed. We were talking about feeding North Fin. So Bug Pro is one of my absolute favorites. But what we do is we take a bunch of different types, we grind it down to a really small powder, and we actually use these salt and pepper grinders. Now, they haven't been using them recently just because of lack of time, but this is a great thing to use. Put the different mixtures in here, and it actually grinds it up for you, and it will come out looking like this. And so this is just a great thing. We just use like a little teaspoon or something like that, and then feed a little bit at a time. But North Fin is definitely a big part of our fish room. and really great food to feed. So let's first start in the Tetra row. Now this is something that, these technically are not Tetras, these are guppies, but this is a really cool tank. This is actually one that our employee Seat did. It's called Seat's Guppy Paradise Resort Spa Casino Heaven. So Seat set this up, he scaped it all himself. You can see there's actually some little guppies back there, and so they're breeding. I forget which type of guppy this is, but they are just absolutely stunning. And so so the team was able to set up some tanks on their own, and so they got to kind of pick out the decor, set it up the way they want, and they kind of take care of it. So this is one that I think Seat did a phenomenal job on, just a really beautiful tank. But going through here, we have a bunch of different Tetras, as you can see. We got the Orange Von Rios. These guys don't look as colorful in here as they will in a tank with decor and things like that, but a really good fish. These guys are definitely not Tetras, but a really beautiful fish. These aren't on the website. These are koi swordtails, and so eventually we'll get them up there. We're behind on website product descriptions and things like that. We've had a lot going on, but these are the rummy nose Tetras. Again, just a really beautiful fish. These are a new fish to our website, and we are constantly expanding our fish selection. We actually import ourselves now, which is really nice. So here's some more rummy nose. This is one of my absolute favorites, which is an Ember Tetra. I know the glass is dirty, but these guys are just an awesome fish, and one that I really enjoy. And I think I'm gonna have to set up a tank of these guys over in the gallery soon. And then down here, we got some bloodfin Tetras. I don't know if these guys are on the website yet. I don't think so. These are fairly new. And we keep track of our dates right here. We hold all of our fish for 2 weeks just to make sure they're healthy. And we do some treating and make sure they're perfectly healthy for your tanks by the time they get to you. And that's where like this board comes into play, which we'll talk about that in a second. And we have that in each row. So again, we have some more Ember Tetras. These guys are a little bit newer of an import, and so they're a lot smaller compared to these guys over here. And then Cardinal Tetras, as always, just an amazing fish. We usually have a bunch of tanks of those. We have some more Ember Tetras down here. This one's empty. More Ember Tetras. You can see we just have tons of them. There's another one there. When we import like, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 at a time. And so we have to really spread them out. Now, looking at this board, this is something that really helps us and keeps us on track. What we do is write the dates up here that correspond to the right date, and then we write down the tank number and what we're doing on this. So obviously right now H19 is a tank that is doing really bad, and so if we go over to H19, you'll see that we have some deaths in there right now. The team hasn't got around to doing deaths, but this is a tank that has been struggling. We got this in late last week, and for whatever reason, there's just something wrong with them. So we've been treating them with a bunch of stuff to kind of get them to turn around. We've been messing with their water chemistry, but they look great. Like you can see for a neon Tetra, like they look really good. And so it's just something with how they were handled before they got to us, or the difference in water chemistries that we're just trying to battle. And so hopefully we can get these guys to turn around. But you come to like a tank like this and it's just beautiful, no deaths, doing really good. This is the one that we've had for about a month, a little under a month. And so you can see that the Cardinal Tetras, you know, they're everywhere and they're just doing phenomenal. And again, they haven't gone through here and done husbandry yet. So if there were deaths, they would still be in the bottom of the tank. And there's absolutely none. So we're doing really good in the Nano fish department. Gold Neon Tetras, again, just, I love them. These ones are one of my absolute favorites. And you can see, again, I know it won't focus, but there are no deaths in the bottom of the tank. And the team hasn't gone through yet, like I said, so it just shows, you know, how much we really care for these guys. And these are ones we've had for over a month now. And so so these guys are really healthy. They're eating really good. And like I said, we try to hold them all. No, we do hold them all for a minimum of 2 weeks before selling them. But sometimes you hold them a lot longer depending on their health. And then you get over to the green Neon Tetras. We've had these guys for a little over 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. You can look in the tank and not a single death. Which is, again, like, you know, we're really figuring this thing out. Importing directly has helped us so much. And here's a little tip to something that we do. You can see me, but this is something we do that has really helped. When we bring fish in, we actually use tannin water It lowers the pH, and it really adds some antioxidants into the water that has been a huge help. And so here's another example of it. You can barely even see into the tank. It's just, it's all tannins. And so that really brings, when we bring fish in, some are from the wild, and so we want to give them just the optimal parameters so we're able to adjust the pH to make it match whatever the fish are in, and then also has that tannin in the water to help them really acclimate. And so, so just a ton of different tetras. Again, here's one that's somewhat new to our website. We really haven't stocked a lot of. These are the diamond head tetras, or diamond head neon tetras. And you can see like there's a really blue diamond at the top of their forehead, and they don't have the blue striping along their side, or at least not as prominent. And so just another gorgeous, gorgeous fish that, that is doing really well for us. And just so you know, I'm not lying, there's one death in there, one tiny one in the very, very back. So we really didn't do it. There might be two, but we did not go through and clean out any of these tanks before the video. I wanted you guys to get some raw footage of what our fish room looks like. So moving on, we actually have the snail row up next, which is not a very exciting row, so we can really blow through this. But this is kind of our assorted ram's horn snail tank. Really beautiful snails, pop of color. These are really good for, you know, keeping your tank, you know, cycled, especially for shrimp tanks. And so really great thing. Again, miscellaneous ram's horn snails. These ones are actually pink variation, but we don't sell these on the website yet. You can see there's some shrimp grazing in there. We got some assassin snails down here. I think this is really interesting. We got in an import of them, and there was a variation that just has like a really dull looking shell, opposed to like the black and yellow, I believe. They're more just the yellow without the black. And so very interesting, but these guys are really cool. I wouldn't keep them with shrimp necessarily unless unless you had a ton of snails. And then we have another tank here. These are just the albino mystery snails. We got assorted nearite snails. So this is kind of what you can expect from our assorted nearite snail pack. Some more assorted nearites. Eventually we're going to offer different types on the website. We got albino mystery snails, or not albino, I'm sorry, ivory mystery snails. One of my personal favorites. I just like the way the shell looks. And then one of our best sellers is the gold mystery snails, just because they just really pop, like just looking at them. And then again, we got tons of ram's horn snails in here. We try to propagate those as much as possible. We breed them as much as we can. And then moving on, we got a tank of blue mystery snails. These guys do really well for us. Again, a really nice pop of color, and sell really well. And then this is our rabbit snail breeding tank. So whenever we have babies, we just pop them in here. And you can see there's a baby that's grown up quite a bit. If we can get some focus, there's one that's getting pretty big. And then once these grow up big enough, we sell them as our assorted rabbit snails. Another tank of golds up here. Now this one has a mixture of rabbit snail babies, some chocolate rabbit snails it looks like, and then some horned nearite snails. The horned nearites, we've been trying to get them in. They don't necessarily do well, so we've been holding on to them just to make sure that they survive for us and they do well while they're here, and we can get them eating. I know it won't focus, but you get the idea. And then a huge tank of rabbit snails. These guys are the bright orange, so just the orange rabbit snails. This is from a recent import, so not a ton of activity. And this is one that, you know, we kind of keep the ones that we're not sure about in here. And then any live ones that are moving around, we move to a different tank. Some mystery snails. They call it mysteries. So, yeah, our employees have a lot of fun with this. We got some purple black, so you can see like they really don't look super purple, but like there's some nice ones that do have some purple in it. These ones are just hard to get that purple in the shell, but a really cool variation. I believe these are the purple albinos. Another tank of assassin snails down there. Another tank of golds. Another tank of nearites. Just the assorted pack. A lot of cool colors. A lot of cool patterns. Another tank of blues. These ones are really cool. So this is one I haven't shown yet. These are the jade mystery snails. Really cool color, really pretty, really fun snail. And then these are the gold rabbit snails. You can see these guys are out and about doing their thing. A really pretty snail. Rabbits are just awesome. Now this is where we've been moving a lot of the bright orange ones when they're showing some activity, and there's also some other ones down here, and we'll sell these ones as assorted. And another black, another assorted, some more, it looks like oranges or a mixed tank, and we'll sell these ones as assorted. I just look based on their label. Another assorted nearite snail. Now this tank is scaped by Brandon, who's one of our employees. So you can see Brandon Snail Paradise Resort, and so he's got some I believe these are fire tetras, firelight tetras, something like that. It's one that we were gonna list, and then we ended up not listing, so they're kind of just retiring in his tank. And then we also have some huge mystery snails. I believe that's the jade one. And then he gets a lot of eggs out of here. You can see there might be some in the back. There's a clutch of eggs right back there. And so he has a lot of fun with this tank, so that's one that he kind of keeps with. And it looks like we got cherry leaf hygro. I think it's hygro. But anyway, cherry leaf in the back, some java musk, some ferns. A really cool crib. It looks like maybe a flamingo. And yeah, it does look like a flamingo. So really cool. That's what we got going on for snails. So this is the new and miscellaneous row. So you're going to see some stuff that aren't listed on the website yet, but will be. First up would be the clown loaches. This is a new type that we haven't carried before. They're really not a nano fish, but it's one that that as far as wholesale, these guys sell really well. So we got them mainly for that. But we will offer them on our website. They're just small. They're always gonna be small. We're never gonna sell really big ones. But a really beautiful fish. These guys actually eat snails as well. At least they did when I used to keep them. And so really cool fish. And then down here, we got the gold lyre tail mollies. This is the one that we sell on the website. Just a beautiful, beautiful fish that really stands out. We got 2 tanks of those. And then moving over, we got bumblebee platies. These are one that came in pretty rough, so we've been treating them. This is one we order locally. Really no one, or not, I wouldn't even say locally. We order in the United States. We really can't import these guys. There's no real good source for them, so sometimes they come in really bad. You would think importing would be much harder on them, but imported fish usually come in way healthier than getting them from the United States, which is just so weird. Now this is the spotted blue-eyed rainbow, a really pretty fish, not listed on the website yet, but one that we got in. We actually got these in November of last year, so they've been sitting here for a long time. So it just shows you like these guys are nice and healthy at this point. We just need to get them listed. Some more clown loaches, some more clown loaches. Neon dwarf rainbows. These guys aren't going to show up as good in this tank because it's blue, but if you guys get these on a black background with some really dark substrate, these guys just pop as far as color goes. And then hillstream loaches, we just got these guys in beginning of February, and they are just an amazing, amazing fish. Like, look at the colors. I just love them. And this one that's doing really well for us. You can see some of them fanning right there, and just a really pretty fish. Gold white clouds. These guys always do really well for us. Just a different variation of the white cloud. And then N-class endlers. This is the one that sells really well for us. This is something we breed locally. And actually we breed it at Flip Aquatics, so not even locally. But just a really, really cool fish. Some more hillstream loaches. Some more of the neon dwarf rainbows. And this is something that our team does. They keep notes on top of the tank to really watch out for things. So this is a tank that was showing ammonia. And so you'll see some funny notes as we go on. Not really funny, but just how they write to really pop when people are going around and taking care of the livestock. And then we got some longfin cherry barbs over here. So this is one that we don't have up on the website yet, but a really cool variation of the typical cherry barb. And these guys have been doing really well. Some more longfins down here. This is kind of our hospital tank. So if there's just one fish that's sickly, we'll put them in here instead of quarantining a whole tank. And so these are usually ones that have, like, you know, growths on their side or obvious parasites and stuff like that. Moving over, these are just, I think these are like the blue platies. I forget the blue wag platy, something like that. And then these are actually plecos, bristlenose plecos that we bred here locally. And so, not even locally, I don't know why I keep saying locally, But these are ones that we actually bred ourselves. This tank is just so hard to even see, but there are cherry barbs in there. I gotta get on the team for cleaning this tank. This one looks terrible. And then these guys aren't on the website yet, but will be. These are electric blue rams. Just a beautiful fish. Again, now that we're importing, we're able to get different things in and really try them out. So this is one that I'm really excited for. And then these guys are blue rams. They're not the electric blue rams, but again, still really pretty. Rams in general, I just love. I think they're really cool. And then we're going back over to the albino bichari. I'm terrible at pronouncing things, so don't judge me. There it is. So these guys are really fun too. Just beautiful, beautiful fish. Kind of remind me of a dinosaur. And so just really awesome. And then last but not least, this is our tank of misfits. This is one where if we have one fish left over in a tank, or two fish, or fish that we don't sell, or fish that have crooked spines, something like that, we'll put them in here because they're not necessarily sick. They just they don't have a place. So this is kind of like retirement village, tank of misfits, stuff like that. Now this video is getting a little bit lengthy, so what we're going to do is we're going to pick back up and we'll talk about rasboras. We will talk about our bottom dwellers, and we'll talk about our miscellaneous row in here and our new row. We got a ton of different guppies, daisy racefish, that isn't even the guppies, but tons of guppies down there, tons of guppies up there, and a bunch of really cool stuff. So we'll go over this all next time. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I enjoyed making it. I'm getting back in a really good routine, and I'm hoping to keep pumping these videos out every single week. So thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, drop them down below, and I look forward to showing you guys your nano fish that you're going to keep in your next tank. So you guys make it a great week, and as always, God bless. We'll catch you on the flip side.